Even a nigga with 24s can get skeeted on.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, Skeets here, and I haven't made a video in a while, but in this video I'm going to tell you about my patch 5.4 talent and glyph changes are for Death Knights. And I'm currently spec'd Unholy, but I will go over some of my Frost stuff, and you guys should be able to get a good hint of what will be good for Frost and Unholy in this video. First of all, I've chosen Unholy Blight, but I'll go over all of the talents for you guys. The first one is Rolling Blood. Your Blood Boil ability now also triggers Pestilence if it strikes a disease target. Now, Pestilence is what spreads your diseases. That ability is very good for PvE blood or PvP blood. Something awesome. I'd say PvE more than PvP. Good PvE spell, not so much a PvP spell, so we'll skip that one. Plague Leech. Draw forth the infection from an enemy, consuming your Blood Plague and your Frost Fever diseases on the target, and activate a fully depleted rune as a death rune. Now, I'm pretty sure Blood Plague and Frost Fever cost a shitload of runes to get up on the targets, so it sounds good, but it's not very good. And that's where I've chosen Unholy Blight, which surrounds the Death Knight with a vial of Swarm for unholy insects for 10 seconds, stinging all enemies within 10 yards for every 1 second, inflicting them with Blood Plague and Frost Fever. Now that's awesome, because that means I don't have to spend any runes applying and spreading and applying and spreading. I can just do it with one click of the button. It's only got a 1.5 minute cooldown. I'll show you what the animation looks like here. There we go. You can see the bugs flying around. The reason why I can't see my keyboard at the moment because I got all my recording stuff right in front of me. And that's what I've got chosen for Unholy and Frost. Unholy Blight for Unholy and Frost PvP. Now the second line, I've chosen Lichborn, and the reason why I've done that is because everyone knows Lichborn you can heal yourself for, and at the moment Death Coils are healing for quite a lot. I'll see if I can generate some runic power and show you guys how much they actually hit for. So I'm just gaining some runic power, guys. Just doing random spells. I'm not trying to Death Coil. Alright. Now if you look here at my toon, if I Lichborn, 40k, 82k crit. That was just 120k with 2 Death Coils. That's amazing. So that's why I chose Lichborn. But there's another reason for that. AMZ places a large stationary anti-magic zone that reduces all spell damage taken by 75% until it absorbs about 70k healing. That's amazing, right? And you can place it so you can stop someone getting shattered. That's a really cool spell. That would be my second choice on this line. But you're not always going to verse spellcasters. Lichborn, the reason why I choose that is because you can use it to go offensive, you can heal yourself against spell cleaves, and you can heal yourself against melee, which is the main thing. Also, as Unholy, you get magic suppression, which means 25% of the damage you take with AMS up, which is anti-magic shell, the ability I just used there, gets converted into runic power, which means even against melee you can AMS and Lichborn. You want to AMS Lichborn anyway, because otherwise if they have the pally or a priest they can fear or shackle you, so you want to use AMS with Lichborn all the time. But that's why I chose Lichborn. Purgatory, it's like a cheat death. You get 3 seconds, you get wrapped in a shield, and you don't take damage, but all the damage you take gets put as a healing absorb ability, which is okay if warriors couldn't execute for 150k and mages couldn't shatter for about 400,000 damage. No healer's going to out-heal that damage the way it is at the moment. Purgatory would be amazing in Cataclysm, but for Mop and how they've changed back the execute abilities to actually be an execute, it will be crap. I'm sorry, Purgatory is bad. For line 3, I've chosen Decivance. Decivance is the same as what it is in Cata, except you don't need to have 2 Unholy Runes depleted for it to give you the effect, which you can't be slow below 70% of normal speed. And also when you activate it, you gain 30% movement speed and you cannot be slowed. So it's a freedom with a little sprint. It's amazing. 30-second cooldown. I love it. Great for mobility. My second choice, and probably a choice I'd use for Frost, is Chillbanes. Victims of your Frost Fever disease are chilled, reducing movement speed by 50% for 10 seconds, and your Chains of Ice immobilizes people for 3 seconds. The reason why I choose that for Frost is because when you're using Frost Strike, Howling Blast, all those moves inflict Frost Fever, which means everyone will be slowed by attacks. so it's great to stop them, your enemy, having no mobility. But it's really a choice between Chillbanes and Death's Advance. You want more mobility and a freedom, or you want the enemy to have no mobility and a root. Really depends also on the comp. So if you run with a warrior, you don't want to have the Chains of Ice because of the double hamstring root, or feral druid or whatever, if they're actually using tangle roots. Mages, you don't want it because of their novas, etc, etc. But it really depends. Shadow Cleaver could be amazing, or if you're running Ret DK Priest, grip someone out in the open, root them, and your priest could get mana burns. It's very situational, but that's the two I would choose. Asphyxiate replaces Strangulate with a stun. I don't know why you would get that over having more mobility or them having less mobility, especially because I think TSG is going to be very strong, and you don't want to get another stun with a class that can stun 1,000 times already. The DR's stupid. You wouldn't get it with a rogue, you wouldn't get it with a warrior, etc. It's not really on my radar in terms of spells. So for line 4, Death Pact, Conversion, Death Siphon. It's a tough choice between Conversion and Death Pact, especially as Unholy. If you're Frost, definitely go Conversion. Death Pact doesn't kill your pet anymore. It only drains at 50% HP. And as you can see up the top, my pet has about 70,000 HP. So when I use Death Pact, I get a 35k instant heal. And then I can instantly heal my pet back to full with a Death Coil. Not a problem. So it's amazing. It's an instant 35k. And if it crits, it could be 70k. You never know. So that's a very tough choice between those two. But Death Siphon does about 15,000 damage with Horn of Winter buff up. You get 2 Death Runes as Frost. You get none as Unholy unless you convert them. And so this is a very defensive line, by the way. So if you need to go defensive and you have no Death Runes as Unholy, you're dead. Death Siphon is a complete waste. So Death Siphon would only go for Frost, but why would you want 30k heals with 2 of your Death Runes when you can Death Strike for that and have Conversion up healing you for 3% of your maximum health every few seconds? I'm going to show you how much this actually heals for. Let's get a full runic bar here real quick. I'll just spread some diseases or whatever, use different abilities. Just getting my runic power up, guys. Alright, almost done. Alright, full runic power. Are you ready? Look at how much I'm healing for. 4k ticks over, what's 10 times 4? It's 40k. So over that time it healed for 40k. Plus I could Death Strike, which Death Strike heals for 9k. So let's say you got a 40k heal with a full runic conversion. That's if you have a full bar of runic power. And you get an extra 2 Death Strikes in, which is another 60k. So 60k is Frost, and even Unholy could be that. So that's why I chose a Conversion. It is better overall, and you can activate it whenever the hell you want. It doesn't have a cooldown. If you ever need to go defensive at all, you can always activate Conversion. That's why I've chosen it. It's amazing. Now in this line, it's clearly another 2 winners: Runic Corruption, Runic Empowerment. Runic Empowerment I'd probably choose as Frost, because you normally spec with more Mastery as your main stat, so you don't have a Haste. Now Haste at the moment, and what it's always done, is it increases your runic power, your runes regen. Now Runic Corruption, the one I've chosen, because Unholy Death Knights go Haste as their main stat. When you land a damaging Death Coil, Frost Strike, or Rune Stroke, you have a 45% chance to activate Runic Corruption, increasing your rune regeneration rate by 100% for 2.3 seconds. Right? With that activated, I get my runes all regenerated in about 2 seconds. So while it's up, I get a full rune, like all my runes are regenerated. But as Frost, I normally go Mastery. So I get more damage because it's more Howling Blast damage, more Frost Strike damage, etc, etc. When you land a damaging Death Coil or Rune Strike, Frost Strike, whatever, you have a 45% chance of activate a random fully depleted rune. So now if you're Frost Striking and this happens, you get random runes coming depleted, which means you get more obliterates off, more damage, and then you can get more runic power and you get to do more Frost Strikes and get more chance. Very good for a Burst, Mastery, Frost DK. Runic Power, definitely for Frost. Runic Corruption, Unholy. Blood Tap, it's crap. because you have to build up 12 charges, and it consumes 5 charges to activate a fully depleted rune. So that has to proc 5 times to get you 1 rune as a death rune, where this can randomly fully depleted rune, and you've already got 2 frost death runes as frost. So why would you want to get blood tap over runic empowerment and any blood tap over any of those? So that's pretty much all I've chosen for now. For the level 90 ones, Desecrated Ground is insane if you're running with a stun comp. You know, if you're running with say a warrior and you get Desecrated Ground, you put Desecrated Ground on top of people, and then your warrior shockwaves. They take tons of damage, or they're slowed something crazy. I'm not sure if it actually damages them. I haven't been able to test it. I'll test that when it comes out. But it basically makes you immune to crowd controls. So if you have Corrupted Ground on you, oh yeah, I'm not sure if you have to place it. I can't honestly tell if you have to place it on the ground, but if it's just below you and it's like a massive cooldown where you just become immune to CC, it'd be amazing. I can't 100% say for sure, but it seems pretty cool. Remorseless Winter, definitely the one that people love the most because it chills, and as it applies stacks and does damage, it stuns someone for 6 seconds, which is amazing. You know, a big switch, a Chains of Ice, and then pop that. They won't be able to get away from you, and they're going to get stunned. They're going to take tons of damage. Gorfiend's Grasp, also that's very good if you're getting trained, because if you're getting trained by a rogue or a melee cleave, you pop that. They don't want to stick on you, because if they stick on you, they're going to get CC'd for 6 seconds each, which is very good for defensive. I just thought of that. That's actually pretty amazing talent. I think I might go Remorseless Winter, just depending on how that works. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'll check. Gorfiend's Grasp. Shadowy tendrils coil around the enemies within 20 yards of a target, hostile or friendly, pulling them to the target's location. It's okay, I guess. It'd be good as Shadow Cleave or Ret DK Priest, because you can grip them to the Priest, or you can grip them to the Warlock, which they can get full fears on everyone. You know, like a massive AoE fear, which could force everyone to trinket or force massive cooldowns. It could be very useful. I'd have to test all those 3 when level 90 comes out in mob, which I will do for you guys. And yeah, so that's about it for talents. Let's move on to Glyphs. Glyphs. What I've chosen so far is AMS. Glyph of Anti-Magic Shell causes your Anti-Magic Shell to absorb all incoming magic damage up from the absorption limit. Up to the absorption limit. So what it does at the moment, it has an absorption cap of about 70,000 damage, magic damage, and it only stops 75% of incoming damage. So you can still take damage with it. Basically, with the Glyph, you take no magic damage at all until you've absorbed 70k. So it's pretty sexy. Pretty sexy. Glyph of Icy Touch. I had to choose this one between the Dispel from Icy Touch, and you probably can't see it at the moment, but if I just press Alt here, you can see that I've got it macroed in, and I'll do a macro video next for you guys. But it's that you can dispel a magic effect, great for dispelling freedoms, or you know, let's say I strang a shaman on Nature's Swiftness, I can dispel it instantly. You know, it's something awesome. You know, or versing priests, I can dispel their shields. I can dispel mages' overpowered ice barrier, so I can actually kill them. Or shifting presences. If you already have dispels on your team, you know, you're running with a shaman or a priest, and they're pretty competent and they know how to dispel, you could get this, because if you need to go defensive, you know, and do some death strikes or some death calls, still do some damage, it would be amazing. So it's either shifting presence or icy touch, and definitely for the third one, it's going to be Glyph of Strangulate. Increases the silence duration of your Strangulate up to 2 seconds when used on a target who is casting a spell. So it's the same as normal. If it's 5 seconds if you do it normal. If you catch them casting, you get a 7-second strang. Now the minor glyphs are pretty cosmetic, except for these two. Glyph of Death's Embrace. Your death core refunds 20 runic power when you use to heal an allied minion. It's pretty good, because, you know, if you have Death Pact and you need to heal your pet, it only costs 20 runic power instead of 40. That's why I've got that one. Glyph of Resilient Grip. When your death grip ability fails because its target is immune, its cooldowns reset. So basically, if you grip someone who's immune, it will reset the cooldown. It's pretty sexy. And then that one's just Glyph of Geist, which changes my ghoul into a Geist, which you can see there. I'm mousing over him. And also, I just thought, I can't believe I forgot this, but the new Death Coil glyph in game is pretty good. Your Death Coil spell is now usable on allies. When cast on a non-undead ally, Death Coil shrouds them with a protective barrier that absorbs up to 12,000 damage. And I'm not sure if it stacks. I'm gonna test that for you guys in a video where I will do rotations, etc., etc. But the three glyphs that I had to choose out of Dispel or Death Coil is Shifting Presence, Death Coil, and Icy Touch. Depending on the comp you're running, that would be really good. You know, if you're running a comp where like Ret DK Priest and your Ret's getting constantly aimed, you know, you would have so much survivability with Wogs. It would be absolutely insane. You know, the Priest has already got Dispel, so you don't need the Icy Touch glyph, and you can just literally, if the Priest gets swapped to you, got Bobs, Coils, Wogs, Sacks, Freedoms. Oh my god, it would be insane. So that would be really freaking sexy. For like TSG with a Holy Pally, I'd go for the Dispel, because you never know, you know, you might be on a Priest and the Ret Pally bops him and you can Dispel it yourself. It would be amazing. So very situational. I'll probably go through and do some war games as different comps, see what's going really well, and make a video about it. But for now, that's pretty much it. That's all my talents and glyphs. And if you guys want, I'll be posting all my macros in text format very soon on nextlevelpvp.com. If you want to get in contact with me there and, you know, submit your own videos, ask me questions, or ask any other class questions, you can register there for free and be active on the forums. If you're active on the forums, it's the best place to talk to me, because I'm always answering questions there. So if you have any questions for me, be sure to register to Next Level PvP. You don't have to pay. If you want to pay and watch the videos, that's up to you. It would be amazing. And yeah, I will answer any Death Knight questions that people have active on the forums. There's also a section where you can post your own videos, as I said, and you can actually get reviewed by gladiators. So that's an all free thing from Next Level PvP, which is amazing, and I think it's very nice of them to have a free section where you can get a lot of questions answered. Obviously, if they've already made a video on that, they'll refer you to the video, which you'll have to pay for, but they post, you know, 20 videos a week. It's something insane. You know, they post a lot of content, a lot of really good content from great players, and some of them have been fortunate enough to play with. So that's it from me, guys. Check out Next Level PvP, and be sure to stay tuned for my macros video and my rotation and spells guide. Yeah. So thank you, guys. I'll see you very soon. Bye.